Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 just got some official screenshots of the game and a ton of updates about its progress, along with even a new Chapter 3 character confirmed. Like the video if you enjoy, but let's get right into it. So if you are familiar with the channel, you know that on October 12th, it is going to be Poppy Playtime's birthday, where we were expecting to get some big news about the third chapter since it just seemed like the perfect time. But Christmas came early and the developers on their Discord would give us some brand new gameplay updates and even screenshots of the actual game. As basically, developer Zach Bellinger would out of nowhere send a message on his server simply saying, Chapter 3 is going to be so fire, before then going on further saying, we really took our time with it and made it really AAA-ish quality. Meaning that apparently this game is going to end up playing amazingly, which you'd expect with just how long the developers have been working on it. However, he did make sure to mention to us that the game was not completely done yet, but that they were at the polishing phase, which would basically be the last phase of development, where they are presumably bug testing and trying to fix minor quirks with the gameplay and animation, but other than that, the game is done. Which they actually go more into detail, saying that some playtests have it as 2 times longer as Chapter 2, some even longer. So first off, this confirms that officially playtests for the game are 100% happening, and that the game is literally almost done, which I honestly can't believe saying it currently. But furthermore, they're saying that the game is taking a lot longer than Chapter 2 to complete, which took a little more than an hour, at least on your first playthrough. So that means while we don't know for sure, this game is probably going to be somewhere around the 2.5 hour mark, maybe even a little longer if you end up getting stuck on any of the puzzles, which is actually insane. We have been waiting for some real long gameplay of Poppy Playtime for so long now, and it at least seems like now we're about to get that for the first time. But then out of nowhere, the same dev said, I'd leak you guys some images if the team wouldn't get mad at me. Then saying, I'm going to ask the team and see if I can leak a few images. I'll be back eventually. And boy, did he come back. As just a few hours later, he simply sent the message, here are the leaks, and gave us 2 brand new official screenshots of none other than Chapter 3, and they look absolutely insane. But to keep things simple, let's first look at the first screenshot. Looking at it, there's not too many distinguishable features about it from the outside. It just looks like some sort of warehouse. But what's most important is that in the middle, we can see what appears to be a sleeping pod crib or hospital bed of some sorts laying in the middle, drowned in all of the rubble. But if you look on the armrest, you can actually see a brand new character right here being a small green bunny. And this is actually extremely important to this screenshot because in the Chapter 3 second teaser trailer, we actually see this exact bunny on one of the frames for the children, and even I think a distorted drawing of it here, which to me seems to suggest that this is in the playcare or somewhere around the playcare area that we have never seen before. You can also notice that the entire room is essentially flooded in rubble and documents, along with even some bed frames that children were probably sleeping on. So this appears to be the exact room that the children were going to sleep and be taken care of in the playcare, and even be examined based on the pod that we see here. Looking in the right corner, we can also see some interesting stuff like some vents, one of which is glowing, and some toys hanging from the top of them. And furthermore, looking at the top, we can also see a door that looks down at the area, so I assume that way the workers could presumably watch over the children and observe over them in the chairs, very similar to what we saw in the game station that had its own catwalk. We can also see remnants of returning characters like Huggy Wuggy in this little blue jar, who is extremely hard to spot, but if you look closely, you can see that this is his arm wrapped around the jar, similar to what the developers have in their own real office. But moving over into the second screenshot, we were given this time what appears to be an area extremely similar to the Destroy a Toy map seen in Project Playtime, and in this we can see a much more steampunk vibe with pipes and moving parts seemingly everywhere, along with a ton of other files laying all over the place in a similar way at the bottom. And looking at the left, we can see what appears to be an entry point of somewhere where I assume we will be entering in after leaving a different area. And while I'm just taking a guess here and I don't know what's going on specifically, it looks like these cylinders are somehow going to drop onto the red floor below them and crush whatever's in front of them, possibly including us. And also something else I find interesting to at least bring up is we can see a broken pipe over in the corner with almost what looks like a red nozzle, which makes me wonder if maybe this could also be in the playcare area, and this could be one of the ways they administer the famous red gas we've seen all all over the place in Chapter 3 trailers. Since in the Chapter 3 ARG in the red gas test, the nozzle the smoke comes out of is red on the back and black in the front, very similar to what we see here. So looking at these two screenshots, what do they all mean for the chapter? While these appear to actually be some screenshots of none other than the play care that we saw in the second teaser trailer, and this appears to be some sort of expansion on that we are yet to see. But the much more unexplainable screenshot of the two is the second one of the piston looking things in the odd yellow lighting. And I wonder if this could be some sort of area where the workers of the play care went to document things and stuff in that nature, while the more colorful area was for the children to obviously sleep in. And the most important thing in these screenshots is that in both incidents, we can actually see piles of documents and trash spilled absolutely everywhere, with most of them being marked seemingly as confidential, giving me the impression that these documents are probably going to be logs and databases of the children that were staying in the play care over time, like what we saw in the game station performance logs, along with also where they go and what happens to them. So this will most likely be the place where we will learn about who all of the toys are and also how they were turned into these creatures. But while this is all that we were given today, this is very much not it for Chapter 3. And in fact, another developer even said after this happened in the Discord that more stuff will be coming as days pass, even stuff that hasn't been leaked nor announced yet, which sounds like them saying we are going to be getting some totally new stuff extremely soon. And the fact that they say hasn't been announced yet really leans me towards it being some sort of trailer or maybe new event entirely, and probably not something related to something like the ARG, which has already been in the works for a while now. In fact, while I doubt it, the developers have also brought up many different ideas of things that they'd want to do in the future. For example, a Chapter 3 VR experience. So that could be another cool thing that could release in the somewhat near future, although I doubt it. More likely, the developers have actually made an official announcement on their server saying that there was going to be a new big announcement coming soon, which instead gives me hope that it could be a Chapter 3 gameplay trailer, because that has been the most hyped up thing that people have been waiting for forever now. It is long overdue considering the game comes out in like maybe a month or two at this point, and they are already starting to show official gameplay screenshots in the actual game without any sort of trailer to go along with that. And if we get a gameplay trailer, that could maybe mean a release date or possibly an update on the ARG as well. But overall, looking at you guys, comment down below what you think these two screenshots are for, and also what you think is going to be happening in the next couple days. Is this all preparing for finally the release of Chapter 3, or is it just another bump in the road? Subscribe if you enjoyed, and peace out, guys.